Hi, it's Lori from Coast to Coast Craft Girls coming to you from the West Coast. Um, I love cards that are kinetic, that move, that do something. So I thought this one was a fun one. So was making a new baby card, and I loved the movement on that. And I love these dies. I just think they're so adorable. So I'm going to show you how I did it. It's actually pretty simple. Just set that over there. So you start with a gatefold card. It's a simple 6x6 gatefold card. So it's 12 by 6, and then you score at 3 and at 9. That'll give you a traditional 6x6 gatefold card. And then I've gone ahead and mat and layered this one just to save some time. And then you need, depending on how many little, see, this one has 4 things to spell out baby. So I need 4 strips of paper to make those move. So these are 1/2 inch strips. This one is 5.5 inches long by 1/2 inch wide. And then I scored at 1/2 inch, and then a 1/2 inch and 1 inch in from the other side. And you need 2 of those. So it'll look like this when you're done. And you need 2 of those. So again, 5 inches by 1/2 inch wide, scored a 1/2 inch in from one side, on the other side add a 1/2 inch and 1 inch, and then fold it to look like that. Then you need 2 short ones, and the 2 short ones are 6 inches long. No, 4 inches long, sorry. So these are 5. This is 4 inches long. And again, score 1/2, 1, and a 1/2 inch from the other side. And you need 2 of those. Okay. I'm going to show you how you fold them up. Now you want them kind of evenly spaced in here, and you're going to put the long ones in the middle, one from each side, and then the short ones like this. Okay? And you kind of want to do them just sort of evenly spaced. And I'm going to start with what's the easiest way to do this? Well, I guess I'll just measure it and mark it. So if you think about a 6-inch card, and you're going to split it into fourths. So that would be like, but you don't want them right at the top, right? So you probably want one down, maybe 3/4 of an inch, so centered around the 1 inch mark. And then we're going to come up and say, oh, and the other one's going to go from the other side. So maybe at the 1 inch mark, and then we're going to come down maybe to 2 1/4. Let's see how that works. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side, but up from the bottom. So go 2 1/4, then that would be 1 there, and 1 at the 1 inch mark. Now let's see how that looks. And I'm sure you could work out the math and figure it out exactly, but that looks pretty darn close. And so I just put a little pencil mark on the flaps where I'm going to glue it, because you're going to glue it onto this side first. So you're going to take, I'm going to glue one side first. So you take the piece, if it looks like this, you're going to take this piece, so with just the one fold, and you're going to put some glue just right on that little tab. And you're going to put it this is my 1-inch pencil mark, and you're going to center it on that, but you're going to put it right up against that score line, but not over it. So you want to make sure that it'll fold, but that it's right up against that score line. And then you're going to do the same thing with the other one, with the next one. So glue just on the one single tab, line it up. There's my second pencil mark, so about in the middle, right up against that score line. Make sure it'll fold. Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to go ahead and do these. And remember, the small one goes at the bottom, and the longer one goes in, the longer two go in the middle. So again, glue on the single tab. Right up against the score line, centered around that pencil mark. Now I tried on the other one, I actually put these on before I mat and layered because I wanted to try and hide the workings. And you can do it, but I'll tell you it was difficult. And I'll show you in a second while these are while the glue is drying, what I meant. So get that on. And you want to try and get them on straight because when they come across, you want them to be straight. So I have the benefit of having a paper that has lines. So it makes it easier to make sure that they're straight. See, that one's crooked. Can't be crooked. So I should check that before that glue dried. There we go. Okay. And I'll show you what I mean. So on this one, as you can see, the tabs are underneath. So I had to slit the paper to slide the mat and layers around those tabs. And you can see it here too. And it was a challenge. So you can do it, but I'm not necessarily sure I would recommend it because it's not easy. Took a lot of fiddly work, far more fiddly work than I'm willing to do this time. So just fold these. One does not look straight. So then you're going to fold these out on each side and make sure that they're folded back so that, see how it's got the two? Because you're going to put glue just on this tab, not on the other one. So now we're going to put some glue just on this tab on each of these. And then you're going to fold it over, and you basically want to fold these in like that. So see, just the glue on that section, but this section's just folded down. And you want to close your card and glue them wherever they land. And that will give you your movement. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So glue just on that first section, but make sure that it's folded all the way at the end when you fold it over, because if you don't, it will not work right. And you have some, and what I did is I kind of tested it, I don't know how many times to make sure that I had it right before I glued it the first time. You can kind of hold it and sort of move the card and make sure that it's working. But there you go. And then all you get now, it's just time to decorate. So I cut strips of paper of my mat and layer the same size or about the same size as those to glue on there. So let me do that. Okay. Then I've got my BA, BY that's going to go on here. And you can decorate it however you want. I put them on with the animals kind of in different spots. And basically I was just trying to make the letters look sort of evenly spaced. Because when it's open, you want the letters to kind of look like they're somewhat aligned. Okay. Now, I don't know if any of you have these cute little animal dies. I love them. I think they're adorable. But they are edgeables. So see, they have dies, but they only cut around this way. So what I did is I went ahead and cut them through, and then I just have to fussy cut. You can fussy cut the whole thing if you want, but I just thought this was easier. So I did it that way. I cut around the animal using the edge. And then I only had to fussy cut a little bit. So go ahead and cut those and I'll be right back. And I don't know if you noticed, but I actually use my double-sided plates, just this combination, clear plate, double-sided plate, clear plate, like for double-sided dies. For simple dies that don't have a lot of detail, it works. I find it works just fine in my Gemini, and it saves my plates from warping a lot. Those double-sided plates absorb a lot of the pressure, and you don't have to use much pressure if you don't have a detailed die. So in the spirit of trying to use the least amount of pressure as possible, I tend to use my double-sided plates actually quite a lot. So see, the dies get you, and as you can see, I had already stamped and colored these in with my tri-blends, my Spectrum Noir tri-blend pens. But as you can see, the dies get you most of the way. So let me finish these off, and I'll be right back with you. Okay, as you can see, using the dies to do most of the cutting saves you a lot of time. Trying to fussy cut around that tail and everything would have been a lot harder. So now's the fun part. You just get to decide where you want your little animals. And I did 4 for on here, and then I was going to put some on the front. So I just have to decide which ones I want where. I'll put my lion at the top. And when you place the animals, you want to make sure you're not covering up your letters and that they're within the card. So see, this one is poking out the top, so you just want to push that down a little bit so that he's within the card. There, I'll start with that one. And then Decorating is the fun part. You can put whatever you want. You don't have to use animals. You can use whatever, but I just thought these animals were perfect for a little baby card. Now, one thing I did on this paper, because this has got like that almost, it's from the fairy garden and it's got kind of like an almost embossed feature to it. So I put little white frames on each side like that so that I could write a message. And as you can see, this one I did the letters such that there was room to put my animals on, and I could do that, I suppose. There. And there you go. And this paper you could actually just write on, so you don't necessarily need to put anything to, to frame a sentiment, but you could if you wanted to. And now I use basically the same thing. These are, I don't know if you, I can't even remember what they're called. They're like statement letters or something, and it's a die that cuts out this little filigree letter and then a stamp. And then I used my new Spectrum Noir shimmer inks, and then I just fussy cut around the new and AB and the B. And I'm gonna just put that on there with the front. And I'll decide if I need something else on it. I'll go find something, but maybe I'll just center it a little bit more. My B on there. And then my ABY. I love these new shimmer inks. They're really pretty. And then I had this really pretty ribbon that says "It's a Boy" that I just loved. I thought that would be a perfect ribbon to go on there. I'll just put a big glob of 3D Collage gel glue on there and put my ribbon in. And we're done. And there's my new baby card. That's the one I just made, and then this is the original. Hope you like it. Bye.